Valderrama Golf Club is located in southern Spain and has a championship 18-hole golf course along with a 9-hole par 3 course. The fourth hole, named La Cascada, is their signature hole, being a long par 5 with a pond to the right of a two-tiered green. Valderrama was home to the European victory over the U.S. in the 1997 Ryder Cup. It was the first time the event was played outside either the U.S. or the U.K. By 1999, Valderrama was rated the top golf course in mainland Europe by Golf World magazine and remains an amazing test of golf to this day. I want to acknowledge the 4 Spaniards who have won PGA majors, which includes Seve Ballesteros, a top golfer in the early 80s, Jose Maria Olazabal, a top golfer in the mid-90s, Sergio Garcia, a top golfer around 2010, and John Rahm, a top golfer currently. These guys brought their talent to the U.S. and each has won the Masters. Welcome back to another episode of Polymer Club's Ask Dr. Paul. Today we're going to highlight polymer testing. So when your boss talks about melt flow rate, what do you need to know? Melt flow rate or melt flow index or melt index are lab tests in which molten polymer flows through a die using an applied weight, and the amount that flows is measured per unit time. The test provides a melt flow value for a known temperature and force, with units being grams of polymer per 10 minutes. There are subtle differences between the ISO and ASTM melt flow rate tests, and the test temperature varies depending on the polymer type. The test temperature must be beyond the TG for an amorphous material and TM for a crystalline material to get the material flowing through the die. On your screen, you see transition temperatures for amorphous and crystalline plastics and their corresponding melt flow rate test temperature. As we increase transition temperatures, we see increased melt flow rate test temperatures. So the lower temperature commodity plastics like polystyrene, polyethylene, and polypropylene have lower melt flow rate test temperatures compared to the higher temperature crystalline plastics like PET and nylon 6,6. Melt flow rate is inversely related to molecular weight, so a higher molecular weight polymer will have a lower MFR, since the longer molecules will flow slower through the die from a given applied force. There is a rough estimation that extrusion grades will have MFRs between 0 and 4 grams per 10 minutes, while injection molding grades will have MFRs greater than 4, and most injection molding grades will have melt flow rates between 4 and 50 grams per 10 minutes. This makes sense since injection molding grades are lower molecular weight polymers where ease of flow into a mold cavity is important, while extrusion grades are higher molecular weight, so they will hold their shape after leaving an extrusion die unsupported. Melt flow rate values are universal to the polymer processing industry, and it is common to say, I used a 12 melt polyethylene for this injection molded part, or I used a 2 melt polyethylene for this tubing extrusion. Melt flow rate can be a quick quality control tool for incoming material inspection, for evaluating regrind, for detecting polymer thermal degradation, and for verifying mold flow parameters. If you think about MFR testing, it provides a flow rate at a specific temperature from an applied weight. However, polymer processing is much more complicated. Nonetheless, MFR values are accepted starting points for polymer processing, and process engineers develop the molding process parameters from there. Knowing how to measure polymer melt flow rate and it's important to polymer processing, that's working knowledge. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on notification, and even share if you appreciate the content. You can visit our website to learn more about our upcoming polymer testing course. I'm Paul Nash for Polymer Club's Ask Dr. Paul. Thanks for watching.